The use of automatic transcription websites, applications, online dictionaries, paper dictionaries, any resource that tells you how to transcribe a specific word that occurs on a graded assignment or assessment is strictly forbidden. It goes against the academic integrity policy of the MGHIHP, and I want to tell you why. First, it's because it's not your work. So if you use something that tells you how to transcribe or that you use to check your transcription, it is not your work. One of the best parts of this course, I think, is that you have an instructor who's going to give you personalized feedback. I'm going to do pattern analysis and figure out what errors you make and how you can advance your skills in the best way possible. So you forfeit that when you submit work that isn't yours, because I'm not able to tell you what you need to learn. I want to take a moment and go through what typically happens so that hopefully you can benefit from the mistakes of those who came before you. So I assume that people get tempted to use these resources because it will save them time and energy. And so they think they have an assignment. It seems long and hard, and they're in many other classes, and they think, well, I'll just do a little automatic transcription of a few things, but then I'll check it and I'll sort of learn it anyway. Human error and computer error do not look the same. So I can usually tell when someone has done this. Mistakes are unusual. The patterns follow the kinds of patterns that these websites make. And they make different mistakes than typical phonetic students. So when I confront the student, they are usually very apologetic. They are full of remorse. They get zeros on their assignments. And then here's what happens next. They get a warning letter for violating the academic integrity policy. Then they struggle to try to catch up because they weren't really going through the steps and stages that they needed in order to learn. So they begin to ask questions from material from weeks before, and the student and me end up working really hard to try to get them to catch up. Those websites, those resources will not help when you get to disordered or heavily accented speech. They do not listen to the speech sample for you and transcribe. That is what you are for as a speech therapist. So trying to skip the step of doing basic transcription will make it so that when you get to more difficult transcription, you won't be able to do it. So you'll end up struggling quite a bit. Many of the students who do this, not only because they got zeros on their work, but also because they sort of can't catch up, many of them do not pass the course. So what seemed like a time saver ends up being the ultimate time waster because they spent many extra hours trying to catch up, and the course didn't count for credit for them because they weren't able to learn the material fast enough because they tried skipping steps. So, all that is to say, just don't do it. I beg of you. Despite my pleas, we still seem to have 2 to 3 students do this every semester. I catch them, they're sorry, they end up working really hard, they end up making me work really hard too, and sometimes they don't pass the class. It's heartbreaking for me. So just go through the steps, struggle a little. That's learning. You're going to struggle, and I'm here and I will help you. So make mistakes. I need to see your mistakes so I know how to help you get better. All right? You have to learn this in order to be a speech therapist. You can't skip it. So buckle down, ask for help. Don't use outside resources for graded work. Okay? All right. Thanks.